Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. You'll forgive me if I'm talking funny. I just got a filling on my lower jaw, or my jaw. And, when they numb that, it numbs your tongue and your lips, and you drool and you talk like you got a mouthful of marbles. So I'm going to try to force the tongue and lips that I can't feel to move according to my memory of how they're supposed to move. We'll see if that works. But before I go back to the studio, I thought I'd do a little drive around the battlefield because I didn't do it this morning. By the way, if you're a first lieutenant, keep your eyes and ears peeled, because when I get back to the studio, I got to do a test video to see if a song that I worked on yesterday with Mike Bariski from Civil War Tees will get dinged on Patreon, or no, on YouTube for tomorrow's show. So you might be the first and only people. Well, you wouldn't be the only people, but you'll be the first people to hear this song. I don't even want to tell you the name. It's a Christmas song, and it will only make sense if you're a regular listener of the show. But I've sent it out to a couple of people, and everybody seems to think it's a hit. So I hope the audience as a whole finds it to be one too when we play tomorrow. Also, don't forget, if you got kids, Santa Claus is going to be on the show tomorrow. I mean, the big guy is going to be there. So he'll be taking calls. Have your kids, call in with your kids and have them tell Santa what they want for Christmas, so that maybe you'll get an idea. In case, sometimes kids don't tell you because they get this idea in their head. If I tell mom and dad, then Santa won't get it for me. I don't know where this comes from, but I've heard this before. So maybe, if they think they're talking to Santa Claus, and I'll do, Santa's, you'll see him. It's the real deal. So, John B says Bing Cosby. Yes, Bing Cosby will be doing a little song. It's actually probably more than along the lines of Frank Sinatra, or Sinatra, as Cam might call him. Frank Sinatra. Yeah, something like that. How you doing, Eric? How you doing, Marcia? Hello, Christine. How are you? Weather there and here look identical. Yeah, Jumpmaster. It's been a cloudy week, basically. Saturday was beautiful. It was a it was actually kind of warm on Saturday. Sunny-ish, which was good for the Christmas festival. And now, of course, it is not sunny and warm. So, the name of the song is Santa Claus is Coming to Town. I'll just tell you that. Okay, so let's see. Where are we going to go? I'm going to go down. We're just going straight down Seminary Ridge today. David. Or good afternoon, I should say. Well, it looks a little better for the weekend if it holds. Oh, good, good. And we got about like 85 people signed up for the party on Saturday. So that'll be fun. We have a distillery and a brewery. They're doing like pop-up bar type of thing at Lincoln Social now. I don't know if that's permanently going to be the plan or if they're doing that until they find permanent brewery or distillery to call that one of their homes. But so we will have libations for those of you who are worried. And then, of course, whatever you want to eat, go ahead and order it and pay for it. And that's it. I hope the weather does hold out there. I mean, you know, it's not, we had some flurries today, but nothing, nothing to write home about. But as long as it's not raining or snowing, doesn't matter if it's sunny or not. It's not like we're going outside. You know what's funny about the Novocaine that they put in me here is my ear is tingly. Like it's numbish-ish. So any sensation on the ear registers as a tickle, and it kind of makes me giggle. Same with my cheek. I hate Novocaine. I mean, I'm glad we have it, but imagine the days before Novocaine. Up on the housetop, reindeer paws, out jumps good old Santa Claus. Hey, hey, hey. That's what he's saying. Where were you yesterday, Ty? Oh, that's funny. I think, I don't know. I don't want to oversell Santa Claus is coming to town, but so far the reviews have been raving. But if you're a first lieutenant, you'll get to hear it because I'm finishing up the edit on it, and I have to see if it's a karaoke version, so it's weird. I just gotta see if the algorithm catches it. I made some changes to it. Hello, BKW, how are you? Yeah, Santa Claus is Coming to Town is the song I would have played if he agreed to play Santa Claus. It would have been his introduction. And it's also a tribute to our buddy Cam. I'm not gonna lie, it pays homage to him. We've got a group of people here. Now, you're not going to stand in the middle of the road to get water and snacks like children, are you? Are you? Dude, what is wrong with you? This is 30 adults, 50 adults, however many it is. Yeah, and the one guy finally gets the idea. Let's make room. Thank you. He must be listening to the show in his earbuds. Thank you, guys. Thank you, people with a brain. There you go. Just walk. Just walk. It's really amazing how when even adults get into a group and they just lose their ability to think responsibly and they turn into children. I guess that's why, one of the reasons why the military requires discipline. But those are probably military guys. So that's the sad part. John B says he's a good sport no matter what. Well, there's a lot of behind the scenes feather smoothing that needs to be done sometimes. Hey Stella, how are you? Oh, Stella, wait until you hear Santa Claus is coming to town. BKW is planning your trip to Gettysburg in the spring. When in the spring are you coming? If it's the third Saturday of the month, you'd be able to catch one of our tours. Unless it's Memorial Day weekend, then we'll be doing it, or unless it's May, we'll be doing it on Memorial Day weekend. Oh, March, okay. You would have missed us anyway. I do think the battlefield is pretty though when the sky is like it is. Not like a total gray blanket, but that kind of spotty gray, you know, there's light parts, dark parts, somewhat clear parts. You'll see as I make the left what I'm talking about there. But I do love winter in Gettysburg. I don't love the cold. I love the lack of people. It's nice to get a break. And then you kind of like, you know, it's like, you know, when you used to go to the ocean, you know, with your friends, your family, your cousins, whatever, your little kids, and the surf's getting a little rough, and y'all get crushed by this one big wave, and then when you fall, like, you know, got your footing back, and you stand up and kind of shake yourself off, and then you look at each other, and it's kind of like, good to see you made it, you know. What was your experience like getting crushed by that wave? That's kind of what it's like for us locals. We see each other at the end of the season or in the postseason, and we're like, oh, good to see you made it. Everybody's kind of like surprised to see that we're all still alive. By the way, for any of you fellow Stern fans out there, did you hear Ralph died? Ralph Sorella, Howard's boyfriend, died. Heart gave out. 58 years old. Or is it 68 years old? No, 58. Good old Ralph. Gone to that hairdresser's chair in the sky. And Howard won't go to the funeral, I'm sure. If you happen to wear the Santa suit anytime, we will all need to see a picture of Major kissing Santa Claus. Oh, that's a good one. I have the Santa suit at the studio. I don't plan on bringing it home. But I might have to. She'd probably be afraid. She wouldn't know what the hell to make of it. going down United States Avenue, for those of you who like to know roads, or where we are. And this is the Trossel Farm up ahead of us. And in case you weren't here in the beginning, I'm a little subdued with my speaking because I have Novocaine coursing through my tongue and lips. And I'm afraid of biting my tongue off while I talk. But also, it's not particularly easy to talk. So, BKW says, an idea for a podcast. Have a hard time figuring out what screws are, how they were deployed, what they were used for, spacing, alignment, etc. Oh yeah, all right, we could do one on that. Maybe we could do one on like different formations and what they did, what purpose they served, why they did it. No, Ty, she doesn't. I think that would help because I think, today we look at these formations and all of the hullabaloo, the attention paid to, column into line, columns of 2, column of 4, all these different things, and, what lines of men meant or did or what the purpose of these things were. And I think to the modern eye, you kind of look at it as something akin to a marching band on a football field during halftime. In other words, it's like almost like dancing. But the modern eye, unless you study this stuff, doesn't really realize that there's a purpose to it. And I say that because friends and relatives that I have who are not interested in this stuff, when they see that mixed with the flags and the fancy uniforms and, all of this stuff that seems to be to them attention paid to appearance, whereas they're like, who cares about appearance? Hide behind a damn tree and shoot as many enemy as you can. Like, that's the modern way of thinking of it. But it does serve a purpose, and people who are new to this stuff might be confused by it. Also, your skirmishers, you have vedettes. What's the difference? And when do you use one? When do you use the other? What, all are very good. Because if you read about Buford's dispositions, you're going to see the word vedette and skirmishers. So what the hell's the difference? So yeah, that's a good idea. Who was that? Was that BKW? Yeah, BKW. That was a good idea. I'll get cracking on that. It most likely won't come out until probably a year from now if I get it recorded, or in the course of 2024. Eric says, wait, what? I thought you said the real Santa was going to be there. I mean, yes, no, Eric, don't worry. Real Santa will be there. I have a Santa suit for the Christmas party because the real Santa couldn't make it to that one. He's booked up at the North Pole for Mrs. Claus's family. They're having a party. Seems like everyone assumes we know in all the videos, and no one seems to find that or other formations. I'm sure the Trust has, maybe not in a video, but if you go to the Trust's website, I'm sure there's something about formations. But it's probably very basic. It doesn't really get into much, and it probably doesn't answer all your questions, but it would be a start. Sup, Dolls Are Evil, how are you? Understand company, battalion, brigade, drill, and you'll begin to understand why the units did what they did. Andy says, hi all. Hi, Andy. How are you? I heard a guide once, BKW, when he was I overheard him here at the Angle, actually, giving a tour, and he mentioned skirmishers, out in the field, between the lines here at Pickett's Charge, and So the kid in the family asked what that was, and he explained it like, you ever see one of those movies where, the bad guys are out there in the darkness somewhere and the good guys are holding a position, and they put up some wire with things that make noise on it, like tin cans or whatever, so that when someone accidentally trips it in the darkness, we'll hear them coming. It's like an early warning system, like an alarm. That's basically what a skirmish line was, but also other things. You would develop the enemy, so you get a feel for what the size of the enemy is. One of the things with Iverson's brigade is that they supposedly didn't put out skirmishers, and they might not have been surprised by Baxter's brigade had they done so. So, they're valuable. But we could do an episode on all that stuff. I think that's a great idea, actually. We're on Hunt Avenue now. Through the trees, you can see the visitor center there. Many people don't realize, probably as they're driving down here, how close they are to the visitor center itself, the building itself. And from my experience with Gettysburg tours, even when you are in the complex, you don't know how close you are to the visitor center because it is hidden by trees. Okay, we turned right on the Baltimore Pike. We're going to take it down to Culgrove Avenue, go into the Culp's Hill area. Andy says, I'm alive and scheming to get a field desk for my massive volume of correspondence. I actually have one of those field desks. It's in my friend's attic back in Jersey. And when I moved back there, I stayed with him first and put my stuff out. He's got this huge attic, and so far they haven't been accumulating enough stuff to throw up there, so I still have stuff up there. I don't even know what I have. It's probably all crap, but I want that field desk. Oh, God, I'm so tired. This is still Cold Grove Avenue, and here it turns to Slocum Avenue. Isn't that exciting? Isn't that exciting? By the way, Culp's Hill, someday when I have a minute, I'll come out and do a video. Oh yeah, I got a new video camera. Maybe now I should do a video out here. To show you how coming here in winter, though not preferable because of the cold, it is preferable because of the lack of leaves and the visibility. You can see so much further and so much more than you can in the season. And especially with Culp's Hill, I find it helps to demystify Culp's Hill, because when you get on Culp's Hill, it's very easy to lose your orientation. You don't know which way is north, which way is south necessarily, and you gotta really have a map with you, or a map emblazoned in your head so that you know. But because you can see through the trees, it's sometimes easier to get an idea of where you are. Like right now, I'm looking off to the side. I can see where the town is. I can see out towards Hunterstown. I can see the Iron Brigade's breastworks. Now I see nothing. And, you know, now everything I can see here is what you can see even in the summertime. So it's nothing special there. But point is, if you can get a chance, you know, if you're one of those people that come out 3 or 4 times a year, but you pack them all in between April and October, might I suggest you do 3 in that time and 1 in the winter, and you might find that you like it, you know? Howdy, Michael. How are you? Michael DePaul. Is that a new name? I don't know. There's so many Michaels. Doesn't sound like a familiar last name, so welcome. Following along using Google Maps. There you go. Too soon to be yawning. Oh, I've been yawning all day, Andy. Was General Slocum actually slow in coming to Gettysburg, though? Great question, Andy. Was he or wasn't he? It's a debate. It's a debate. My answer is, if you're waiting for reinforcements, he was slow. If you're not waiting for reinforcements, I don't think he was that slow. But where he was coming from was not very far. But I wasn't there. So who am I to say is what I'm saying, right? The bus tours, Gettysburg Tourist Center, the new building coming along nicely there on the right. God, sorry to be honest so much, but God, I'm tired. This weather really just takes it out of me too. Like when 5 o'clock rolls around and it's dark already, I'm like, all right, in another hour it'll be 9 o'clock. But in reality, it's like, no, in another hour it'll be 6 o'clock and it'll be dinner time. And you still have a whole bunch of hours where other people expect you to be an active part of life, and it sucks. I just want to sleep. That's all I want to do. All I want to do is sleep. All right, so we're going into the studio here, the Gettysburg Museum of History Studios. And like I said, if you're a first lieutenant, I don't know, within the hour, I'm going to do a video just for you guys because I don't want to give it away. I got to test something, and I figure while I do that, I might as well see if I'm delusional or not. I mean, I am delusional. We all know that. But, you know, see if what we got to play for you tomorrow is any good. So first lieutenants, keep your eyes and ears peeled. I'll want your feedback, and so on and so forth. Otherwise, you guys have yourselves a great rest of your Wednesday, and I will see you mañana, which is, of course, Spanish for mañana.